Hi, this is going to be an initial look at Yonac's ToneStack Pro. Just came out. I just picked this up yesterday, and I thought I'd share with you some of my initial experiences with this. This is an old staple, and it's really a great program. If you're familiar with it, it was one of the first ones I bought, and if you're familiar with the first version, you're going to get around just fine in this one. There's nothing really changed much about the configuration, if at all. The major update here is that it's AUV3, which is really nice because there's really nothing else out there that quite competes with this as far as the amount of amps, effects, heads, cabinets that's included in the Pro upgrade, which I strongly recommend you get now while it's on sale, is really pretty extensive, and it's quality stuff. Yonac does some quality work. Their programs, their apps are finished basically. They don't come with they're not beta. They don't generally release beta programs. And so far as I can tell, there's nothing beta about this at all. It's ready to go. I dialed up a dirty sound here, so let me just share that with you. Let's have a look at it. I'm using the leads head and the leads cabinet. I'm using a ribbon on this. Now this thing has a lot of top end, and that used to be the downside of it for me. It was a little too crispy. So I went right with the ribbon, stuck it right in the center of the cone to make up for some of the loss of highs with the ribbon format. And sounds pretty good to me. If you've watched my 21 amps and 21 minutes ToneStack video, which I guess I should put a link to somewhere, you'll be familiar with a lot of the different effects and stuff that come with this. And I have a certain setup that I do on the post. I like to have a long delay. I like to have a short room, and I like to have a long room. I'm only using this EQ as a level matcher because the output of this without this is too far off from my one other setup, and I'm just using it to match the level so that I can switch back and forth without changing the gain structure before it. Nice EQ, but as you can see, it's only just minus 2.5. Delay wise, this one is a long delay in stereo pan. I've got the top end rolled way off. I've got a little reverb. I think on this one, this is it's a pretty quick one. It's a pretty tight reverb. And I've got the plate. Yeah, this is more like a room. I try to emulate a room on this ToneStack stuff because it doesn't really have room emulation. But you can usually use one of their reverbs or even a delay set really short like a Haas effect and just turn down really low to sort of give you some breath around that cabinet mic. And I've got the plate as a longer reverb. On the front end, to start with, I've got nothing. There's nothing engaged here. Oh, the clean boost. The clean boost is in. I did like to boost it. I just turned that on, didn't I? Yeah, I think so. Let's find out. Oh, this is these are the setups. And if you're familiar with ToneStack, or if you're familiar with Yonac, you'll understand these symbols at the bottom here. You can't see it, can you? Symbols at the bottom. This is overwrite. This is give it a new name. It's a share, which is a nice function that not all of these programs have either. These apps have, and it's great. You can back up and share your program, your app, your presets. This I think is to rearrange. This is to rename. I think. Let's see. What does that do? Oh, to rename a bank. You have rename bank, rename patch. And this is to add a new bank. This is nice too. You can start out with an initialization that clears everything off for you, which I always think is great. You can set favorites, of course, if you, as you know, you can do random setups, which is kind of fun. I don't know, but it's comprehensive. It's nice. It comes with a lot of presets. I don't generally mess with presets at all, ever. I just generally just don't really find anything I ever like much in those. Nothing personal. It's just so. So I think there's a pretty kicking heavy sound there. I got a clean sound. And both of these have this does have a gate. Sorry. This is another trick that I found out from previous ToneStack versions, that I like this this expander as a gate. I've just left it as it was when it came with the package. Put it in line, turned it on, and as you can hear, it doesn't have that awful fizzy, hairy sound. I mean, it's in there, but it's way down, almost perfect. But yet it opens up real natural. It doesn't change the frequency. I'm using a Epiphone Les Paul Standard. Epiphone Les Paul Standard. These pickups tend to be meaty and loud, and I recommend this as a guitar, especially if you're on a budget, and even if you're not. I'm going to show you. I'm going to compare this to the FireFly. This has a bump at 2K, but I'll tell you what, this thing is not bad. I had to wait a while for it. I think everybody does. You can hear it's a little checky in there. And that's without changing anything, of course, on the on ToneStack. These are the original pickups. It had a couple high frets. If you're brave or crazy, you can attempt to work that out yourself, which is what I did with a file. And I think I got them all. Close. That one's a close one. But I think I got them all, and it's a nice guitar. Let's see. Oh, I can't see anything. I got one of these blue ones. I wanted the green one, but they didn't have any. And I'm not thrilled about the brilliance of it. I like a meaty pickup. But if it's your main guitar, you can EQ things around it, you know. But oh, you know what else I have? You want to hear a Harley Benton? I got the Harley Benton. I got the 335 copy. And again, this one came with the same kind of problem. Not too bad, though. It had a couple of high frets. And I took my little file set to it. This one sounds good. These are the, what do they call them? Roswell. Kind of toppy. But then again, the Epiphone is pretty dark, actually. But coming through the mic a little bit because it's louder because it's a semi-hollow. Let me mute the mic. Hit my camera. Knew that was going to happen. So that's the Harley Benton. I'll tell you, the deal with these, I've been experimenting with these low, I don't know, budget, if you want to call it budget guitars or whatever. And I don't know, it's kind of, there's a thing you should expect with any of these. And that's that they're not going to be finished. I realize this is supposed to be about ToneStack, but what the fuck? They're not going to be finished completely. And if they are, you're lucky. I also have a Glarry. Now, it's hard for me to say anything bad about this because it was like $65. I mean, what do you expect for $65 fucking dollars? But I will say, I mean, it looks nice. It's great furniture. The neck was way. It needed to be tilted, so I had to shim it. I had to shim the thing. What am I doing here? I had to shim the thing at the neck, yeah, to get the angle. Because here's the trouble with these. Now on these Telecasters that come from Harley Benton and some of the cheaper brands, you can see the strings are not through the body. Can you see that? The strings go through this back plate here. The trouble with this was there wasn't enough. The saddles were so low that you could just, the strings would rattle. You know, you could just rattle them on there. And that was because the angle, you just could not get a positive angle coming up from the back of this bridge. And that's not good. And it's really bad. And you could avoid all that shit if they just went through the body. So if you're going to get, and another thing, the lineup is a little, you know, it's a little funky. The guitar is very light. The rhythm pickup is very weak. The lead pickup's not horrible. It's got kind of a Tele sound to it. You know, everything else is passable, I would say. Sounds good when you get it dirty. I'm missing a string right now. I'd play it for you, but it's really doesn't feel that great. I need to do more with the action. So again, what you're looking at here, the way they're going to save money on these things is to cut corners and you know, pickups, nuts. The neck is a very labor intensive part of the process, so that's really probably where most things are going to suffer. Anyway, I guess I've strayed, haven't I? Let's go back to ToneStack here. Let me plug the Les Paul back in. Okay, so I'm using a clean boost, so what might it sound like without the clean boost? Okay, so give you an idea. Oh, we didn't listen to the clean sounds very much. Let's see. I hear some crackling in there. What do I got? I think, what did I use? Oh, I used C414 on this one. Got a compressor. This is a real clean, transparent compressor here. And as you'll notice, it's a nice reverb. The reverbs are a little better than positive grids, actually. Take the big one off. That's my delay. This is the zone verb. This is just giving you a little bit of... Let's turn the delay off. That's my close, that's my Haas effect kind of thing there. Actually, it has not saved my settings, or I didn't set it right, which is more likely the case. More like this. And let's give it a little less obviousness. That's just the studio delay on the zone verb. I think I would like a little more compression here. Back on the back end. Turn off the zone verb. Now here's another thing. The zone verb, some of these things add gain. That has led me to this problem with the Studio EQ. In a default state, there's no way to get rid of the gain. The dry signal is just boosted, and it keeps getting boosted, and then by the time you're at the end here, it's way too loud. But you don't want to change the gain structure before the amp, or the amp itself, so you got to put something after it. You could put a volume control there. But it's a little deceiving because now it sounds so different. See, now if I take that out, it's even quieter. So let's, this is straight. Here. So this is a vintage clean amp head with a Showman bottom, 215s. Not sure what this is yet. I wish I should, because I could help you more. Wait. Oh, why is it on one side? Oh, because we could have stereo through, I believe. Show you the settings. Another thing about ToneStack, you got to set the inputs carefully because you'll get clipping real easy on these things, and it gets real touchy once you get around the zero. So you just kind of rock your finger a little bit to get that dialed in. Output limiting, I use none. I find that it really changes the sound, and not in a way that I'm really into to use any of these output limiting things. Processing quality, I mean, honestly, you could try the different ones because sometimes they sound better, actually, if you're trying to get a certain kind of dirt or grit. So experiment with that. Buffer size, of course, you want to shoot for the best you can get without getting artifacts. Input channel, of course, is able to be channel selected, which some things weren't or aren't. And it has a full complement of MIDI assignments, I believe. And knob behavior you can change, which I noticed that Positive Grid left that out on their bias effects too. Not really sure why. It has a good tuner, which is another thing. Some of the other competitors have lousy tuners, and you can leave it on up here at the top, as you can can see right up here. It mutes if you put it on, or not. Well, you can set it up to mute. There you go. Let me see if it mutes now, if it's turned on from the top. Off? Yes, it does. Okay. So depending upon how you set it up, you can even have it muted up here while it's on, or muted while it's... You have to have it simultaneously. Whatever you set for one is set for the other. I don't think I'll take your time much longer because I've gone real long here. But I don't know, it gets a thumbs up from me. I like the thing. I think a lot of these amp simulations are coming a long way. And I hope you enjoy it and have fun with it. Like I said, try to get it now while you can get that deal. Because that's a good deal. And thanks to Yonak. I mean, you guys make some great stuff. It always comes out nice and solid. And that's it. Like and subscribe if you can. I neglect to say that, and I don't know if it really helps or not, but if you can, go ahead and do so. I'll see you next time.